Hi, hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joe D, and welcome to another Friday Share a Beer pop-up show. Complete last minute, decided to, hey, I've got some time, so let's do this. You know what I'm saying? I have uh, uh, been off for a few days, so I am tackling some trips, and then some, chores around the house. One of them is painting, and so I've got different items in here on camera that you can kind of see the stuff that I have moved from other parts of the house that are getting painted right now. And I have my new turntable over here actually off camera as well. I don't know. Can I show it? Let me see. This is for those of you that know I've been kind of getting into audio. This is my new turntable. It's the Project. It's the Rolling Stones version, so you can kind of see on this side, on the far side from you, closer to my neck here, it has Rolling Stones written on there, and then the big tongue and stuff. It's kind of cool. It's got a piano finish to it and everything. Yeah, it's got a little weight to it. But that's been my latest little thing there. Is getting into vinyl now. I have a couple of albums. This is literally right now my whole record collection. I have some old albums, but these are the newest ones that I've got. I've got this Lord album, and then I got the Best of Sade, and this is two LP set. Uh, so far, I kind of dig it. I kind of like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how deep I'm going to get into it. Because buying new vinyl is very expensive. For example, this album from Sade was $22 or $23. Um, it's pretty good quality vinyl though compared to this Lord one. This Lord one here, watch, you can even see it wiggle. It's a thin record versus this Sade is much thicker vinyl. It feels and seems like it's better quality all the way around. Sounds better too, just in general. But on to the beer, man. I have got two beers that I've been wanting to try for a while now, and I haven't gotten to them. So I figured this might be a great opportunity to try these. Is to do a pop-up show like this, especially on a Friday when. Oh, Neri says he has the same music. Cool, man. So my intention was I can't. Oh, he's away with the kids. Okay, so yeah, Neri is in the chat. I did it at this time that we used to do the Friday Share a Beer, hoping that we could get Neri in there, but without advance notice, he's already with the kids, so that's not a problem, man. You do your thing. Um, but I've got this. I'm gonna look it up first too before I show it. Let me pop up my Untapped. For those of you that don't know, this isn't a typical normal time, um, but we normally do the show Saturday 7 p.m. Eastern. Uh, Already, it's been quite some time, but quite some time ago, actually a year ago. I think a year ago now is when we used to have a regularly scheduled Friday Share a Beer at this time. It used to start at, now I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and it used to start at 10 a.m. Phoenix time, which is, I don't know, what, 1 Eastern. So, um, Zach says, "Oh, Joe found another expensive hobby." You're right, too, man. I happened to get a good deal on that turntable, though. I saved like $200 on that turntable. It was a hell of a deal. I got brand spanking new. But the records, oi, those two records cost me $51. Those two records, but I bought them brand new on Amazon. So would not recommend doing that again. Find it in your local area or use somewhere. Find a good copy use somewhere. There's a lot of value to going to your secondhand store or something like that. But the Sade album, just like Neri says, is fantastic. Absolutely. I knew that was going to be a good buy. So I went that route, you know what I'm saying? But oh my God, yeah, $51. $51. Whew, that was a lot of money. Especially for physical media. I don't really like physical media. Oh, he says and LL Cool J. Okay, so you have records, Neri? You have a record player and everything? That'd be kind of cool to. We'll have to figure out a way to maybe do. Man, see, I'm not. And Mark knows me. Mark knows this side of me. Mark's my little right hand man on the show here, but um, Mark's way into vinyl, and more than I am, and he's also into film photography. I am not into film photography. I have lots of film cameras, but not into film photography. Oh, Deed's in there, and he says I have a few records. Yeah. Deed's a DJ. Hello. He's being sarcastic. He's got more than a few records. But yeah, he's being sarcastic there. Yeah. I know him well enough to know he's got probably thousands of them. I don't know, but it is my latest little thing. I definitely am getting into it. Matter of fact, Odeed probably has as many record players as he does barbecues and as he does barbecue grills and smokers. He smokes and all that stuff quite a bit too. You want to talk about an expensive hobby? That's another expensive hobby. If you start getting into grilling really heavy and smoking and all of that, good luck. I mean, sky's the limit with that stuff, man. Those things are expensive. But yeah, Odeed's being kind of sarcastic. He was just making a funny. Yeah, he says he has 3 record players and 4 barbecues. So I knew the ratios were kind of up there. I knew that the turntable to barbecue ratio was kind of. And check him out on Instagram. That dude, if you want to see some good food porn, that guy puts on a lot of good food porn. Any show tomorrow night? There's a darn good chance there might be a show tomorrow night, but that'll be kind of a last minute thing because I am trying to tackle this painting. As a matter of fact, I started at 5:45 my time. Right now it's 10 a.m. my time. I started at 5:45 my time. Just moving furniture, moving all my hi-fi equipment, moving all my speakers, all that stuff, taking the wall plates around the outlets and all that sort of, taking curtains down, curtain rods, blinds, trying to do it right. You know what I'm saying? I want to do it right. Just getting down to the bare walls as much as possible. And that's literally all I did. Swept the floor, wiped down some stuff. Oh, I did 3 hours. I started at at 6:45 and I finished literally at 9:45. So I looked at my watch and go, oh my God, I guess I could just start a Friday share beer. So anyway, getting back to the point here, let me look this beer up. I've got a beer from Stone, so let's look this up. And I don't know. It's an IPA, so I don't know how fresh it's going to be because I can't promise how long I've had this darn beer. What's I guess it's just it's putting up another name though. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's putting up. I'm typing in something, but it's putting in. Yeah, that's its proper name, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So I'll share this one with you. Let me see if any friends have had this beer. Yeah, Earth had it. In November. Okay. So let me share the screen with you real quick, man. And show you what beer I'm even talking about. I'm doing all this talking about it, but not showing you. Hey, Chris Clark, what's up, brother? Happy Friday. Absolutely, man. If anybody wants to, man, just let me know. Okay. Hey, thanks, Zach. Appreciate it, man. Said he's got to catch us next time. He's got to roll. Um, During the day on a Friday here in the U.S., it's gonna be kind of tough. A lot of people working, doing their thing. But in any case, here we go. This is the one I'll be cracking open next. The Corey Magers, and Elizabeth Bacchus, uh, Bourgeon Beer Company, Stone Moje IPA. Oi, what a name! I'm just gonna call it Stone Moje IPA. Collaboration with that beer company. That one that starts with a B. Hey Tom, what up, man? I've got a if anybody wants to join in, there's a link up at the top. I guess I can post another link or try to send an invite directly. But this one is, we've got 11,000 ratings on here, 1,100 in the last 30 days, 7.6% ABV, 100 IBUs, and a 399. Yeah, representing strongly. I didn't even know it was rated that high. This marks the 10th American Homebrewers Association rally held at Stone, and the hazy New England style IPA, has descended upon the craft beer industry. To put a familiar twist on this new trend, what is that? Fiancés, something like that. Anyway, Corey Magers and Elizabeth went for an east-west hybrid, brewing a hazy hop bomb with more bitterness than a typical New England style IPA. Amarillo, Citra, and Mosaic hops, electric, right? Eclectic, right? Anyway, a fresh squeeze OJ quality and a combination of palette hops and Cairo hops for more clean flavors and less roughness. Mosaic plus OJ equals Moj. For, Forget mimosas. This one is perfect for a lazy Sunday. Wow. They really hyped this one up, man. Hey, Neri, I will, man. He says, crack it open already. What are you doing? Exclamation point. Crack this beer open. Quit talking. Shut up. Crack it open already. You're talking too much. So here we go, man. There's the top of the cap, which you've got your traditional. Wow, I'm hearing a lot of echoing from over there too. Everything is moved, so the house. I have tons of tile in this house. It's practically all tile, so there's, it can kind of sound like a theater sometimes. Let's see. Let's crack it open. See if we get some Neri smoke with Neri on here. Oh, look at that! Eat it, Neri! Eat it! Nice! Woo! We are making the king of smoke a little jealous. He is jealous with my smoke. I have great smoke today. He cannot defend himself. He is not the king of smoke today. Nice. That was awesome smoke, man. I love it. Oh, that was great. Let me get a picture of this because the Moj likes a selfie. You know what I'm saying? So here we go, man. Look at that beer, man. Oh, looks good. Do the tappa on your table before you do the selfie of your beer. Look at that. Oh, baby. Look at that. You can't even hardly see me in that beer. Nice. Woo! Juicy, juicy, juicy. This thing is juicy, man. God, it smells like like a big Citra bomb or something, man. Just all these nice sweet flavors in there. Not enough flavors, but smells, Oh my goodness. This is like a just a fruit explosion in here. You pineapple, mango. Oh my God. It's so tropical and fruity. God, this is nice. man. Ooh, yeah, they're right. It starts off in the front with everything you're smelling. Everything you're smelling, you're getting, right? Mm. Yeah, everything you're everything you're smelling, you're getting. There's just all this, and then that finish is that nice, big, bold, kind of medium, but it gives you enough of that hot bitterness that you like. So if you've been wanting, let me see what Earth gave this. I'm kind of curious because Earth can have a similar taste as I do sometimes. Yeah, he gave it a 4. He gave it a 4. Earth gave it a 4. I have Addy on here, and he gave it a 3. It looks like a 3 3/4, so 3.75. But Earth, no charge. Oh, he said best stone beer I've had in a while. So man, this is man, I'm digging this. This is definitely. I don't know about the best stone beer. I'm not going to go that far, but that was his opinion when he drank it. I'm going to say this is the best stone IPA I've had in quite some time. I'm definitely, it's practically 70 degrees here in Phoenix. Not the high is going to be 70 today. It's not quite 70 just yet, but it's a nice day. I've already been kind of working a little bit, around the house, and so I'm definitely feeling this beer now. This, just look at that, man. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh man, and I love that it still gives you the fruit, that sweet fruitiness, but still keep some of that bitterness. So that if you like a real nice big bold IPA that kind of, gives you a nice little punch, this definitely finishes that way. So if you want something sweet but then finishes kind of, with that bitterness that you like out of an IPA, this is it, man. This does it for sure. Salute. Mm. Oh man, fantastic. It really is going down good. Um, my next one though is something that I think a lot of people have had. Scuttlebutt. That'll be the next one, man. Scuttlebutt Porter. Yeah. Brewed and bottled by Scuttlebutt Brewing, um, Everett, Washington. So, uh, and that'll be a 5.5% ABV beer. So, family owned and operated. So, looking forward to this one. Don't know that I've ever had Scuttlebutt. So I don't think I have. I don't think I have. And I'm pretty sure that looks like they put the date right on the middle of the label. So it's kind of, I think that would be the date. So it's hard to miss. And in any case, it's hard to miss. Um, and if that's right, then no, that can't be right. That can't be right. I haven't had this beer that long. I can remember buying it maybe a few months back, but I haven't had it. It finishes with a 13, and I'm thinking, there's no way I bought this beer in 2013. There's just no way. Uh-uh. I haven't had that beer that long. I've had some other beers pretty. Um, oh, okay. Tom says he might jump on in a few minutes there. That'd be awesome. So, in any case, um, how'd you like that Rams game, man? Boom! So it's the Rams and this at New Orleans Saints, and then you've got the New England Patriots at Kansas City Chiefs, man. So who's got who, man? Who's got who? We got 2 games this Sunday. Rams are first. Rams Saints are first, and then we'll finish with Patriots and the no charge and the Chiefs second or last. So who's everyone got? I know who Tom's got, and everyone knows who I got. Those are kind of a wash right there. We know who's got who. Oh, yeah. Scared the hell out of me. Hold on. Okay. Some Amazon packages there. More stuff for the turntable, actually. I got, let's see here. So we got, do you guys get a lot of, I'm kind of curious. Let me ask this while I'm here, because now I complained. I complained because I was getting kind of tired of it, but I was having a lot of issues. I don't know about you guys in your area, but Amazon, there's 2.5 million Amazons in my area here. There's literally 6 or 7. 6. Yeah, there's 6 Amazon DCs in my immediate area. Literally, immediate in my area. But there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 in my immediate area. DCs. We're talking major. 2 fulfillment centers, because I go to all of them. I'm a truck driver, so I go to all of them. Anyway, Amazon has a huge presence here in Phoenix. It's not a huge secret. But so they do a lot of their own delivery, right? And boy, I mean, the Amazon delivery was just messing up so much. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to watch them and stuff. But lately, that was another Amazon delivery person. Oh, here's my brush. So that's my brush for my and I've been tapping into Mark's knowledge, because Mark knows more about this stuff than I do. So he recommended getting this brush. So I bought it. And I guess the principle of it is let me take it out of the package. I'll unbox it and everything right here. So the principle of it is it's a anti-static record and a cleaner. So it's a fine kind of brush, and then you just lightly brush your album. So you'll put it on, start it spinning, and then you just lightly brush it to take the static off of it and stuff, which will be good, because I did notice that that the albums were staticky, which was kind of, I thought, weird, but I guess it's a thing because they have brushes for them. Let me see what else I got. I got a record clamp. I'll just do this right here. Why not? I'll unbox everything that I got. I know I got the clamp, and there's something else in here and I forgot what it is. So let's see here. So let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he also recommended getting a scale. What the hell? Oh, that's my Alexa. So I got a turntable stylus force scale gauge tester. Can you see that? And so that's to test the downforce on your stylus or your needle. So as your needle hits your record, and if the groove in between my fingers, so as it's hitting the groove, the downforce of that needle or stylus. So this will weigh that for me. Oh, Beer by the Numbers, what's up, man? Yeah, we used to do a Friday share beer show, and used to be a lot of fun. And all right, already, stop it. So here's the manual for it, and that tells you how to use it, and then it comes with a nice little case, so you can and then I guess I'll figure out what all these things do, but this is some stuff I don't know what it is. I'm completely ignorant on this stuff. I'm learning. So, and then this is the scale, and I guess you open this up. Here we go. And then your needle would go right there on that little black dot, I suppose. And then, so you'd put it there, and then, of course, the screen would tell you how much it weighs or how much downforce is being applied. And you can see a little, see a little space in between there where it's measuring just the slightest little pressure. So pretty cool. I will definitely be, more than likely won't be using that until tomorrow or so, because I have to paint and everything else. I'm doing all that sort of thing. I watched season 5 of Luther. Anybody get into Luther? I watched season 5. Or was it season 4? Season 5. Yeah, I think it was season 5. It's the most current season, which I'm pretty sure is season 5. And they always it's hard to tell if it's going to end, because they kind of always make it seem like it's going to end-ish, but then it doesn't. So as far as I know, the only way you can watch it is if you're in the UK, because it's showing on BBC. It hasn't come to America yet, but I watched it. That's as far as I'm going to go. And then this is a record clamp. Hey, this thing's got some serious weight to it. What does it say what it weighs? It doesn't say what it weighs, but I like the looks of this one, so I spent a little more money on it. But look at that. Doesn't this thing look cool? And so you put this in the middle of your record and then it weighs it down, and it's supposed to make it sound better or kind of reduce vibration. And then it has like a felt on the bottom, so you don't, because it goes right over the label of the record. So it's supposed to not ruin the record label with that like felt-ish sort of material. But it looks kind of cool, huh? I like the way it looked. So, and there's tons of different ones like that. But so that's what I got, the latest stuff, the latest equipment for my record player, which will be a lot of fun. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that on there. You want to see what it looks like? Let's see. This thing's kind of heavy, but that's what it looks like on your record player. Kind of cool, huh? And you see that tone arm and everything. Looks cool, man. I dig the look of it. Project, if you're interested, I think they're German. They're a German manufacturer. And yeah, somewhere $300 to $500, you can get yourself something decent. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to spend a lot of money, or that is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But it's very, very achievable, right? So I'm going to move on to another beer here, the Scuttlebutt Porter. So let's look this up real quick. Let me see. There we are. Scuttlebutt Porter. Share the screen. Scuttlebutt Porter. Hey, wow, we practically have the same number. Look at that. 11,746 total ratings on here. 75 in the last 30 days. 5.5% EBV, 28 IBUs, and a 3.5 rating. 3.5 rating. Let me see what they say here on the description. American porter with a creamy flavor, hints of chocolate and balanced mild hot bitterness. Through the finish, complement a roasty, full flavor with notes of coffee and very subtle smoke. Hey, what up, Rajay? What's up? Let me put a so that's the description on there. I've probably got a bunch of friends that have had this beer. So let me put a link up in there just in case. For anybody that wants to jump in, you're more than welcome to. Sometimes those links don't work. I know that. There's also if you're still into Google Plus while it's still around, there's a link in Google Plus if that helps. So I'm gonna crack this one open, see if we can get Neary smoke out of here, man. Let's see. Oh, by the way, there's the cap. Nice kind of an anchor on just a black background. So real nice and subtle, like it. Let's see. Oh, 2 in a row! Suck it, Neary! Eat it! Look at that! Yeah! Woo! Gotta love that, man. Love it when we get some good smoke. Woo! Went crazy on the head. I got a little excited. Yeah, baby. Nice. I did go a little crazy on that head, though. Look at that. Boom! Look at all that, man. It's like a 4-finger right there. Oh, man, I went absolutely crazy on that beer. I'm going to take a picture of that, too. That's going to be that's going to be a selfie right there. I didn't even have to hardly here we go. I didn't even have to hardly tap on one, man. That one is but there is lots of roastiness in there. Yeah, just big, lots of malt roastiness, sweet, a little, malt sweetness that you get in some of these. But you do get that nice smoky, roasty smell. So salute. Okay. Pretty. This one's not a big. Not even a meat. I would call this kind of a light-bodied beer. It's more the consistency of a lager or something. See how easily it just wiggles around there in the glass. It's more the consistency of a lager. It's thin, a little thin. Not, but thin isn't bad. Thin isn't bad. Let's not make it like it's bad. Can be thin can be good for some of these darker beers. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of weird drinking that much foam head. I'll leave this a clean one. But thin isn't necessarily bad. It's okay. Yeah, I would it's more of a session brew, It's a porter that you could have, especially at 5.5. You could have at 5.5. You could have, hey, Havana, what up? You could have this. Hey, he's got a new thumbnail there, man. Yeah, he's got a new thumbnail. I can't quite read it, but it's a new one. It's a porter that you could have one right after the other, really. It's going to be no stronger than a typical, lager, really, than a lager would be, which are typically 5%, somewhere 4.5 to 5.5. So would it be your typical kind of session lager, right? Your typical Bud or, hell, even Bud Lights are 5%, aren't they? Even stronger. Bud Lights are even stronger than that, aren't they? Boy, I've got a lot of. It's very smooth though. But I could see where people that aren't into porters um might not like it. It is an adjustment because this is more of a slightly it's not a I'm calling it multi-sweet because I know kind of what to taste for, but if you're not familiar with porters or darker beers and that's not really your wheelhouse, that's not where you go to all the time, then I could see you thinking this is a bitter beer. Like it's got a lot of because it does have that smoky little um, punch to it, that little slight bitterness to it. Mm. But for me, if you're a porter, stout, that sort of guy or person, rather, you're that sort of person, then this is right in my this is right in my lane, man. Let me tell you. I'm in my lane and this is right there in front of me. You know what I'm saying? This is not bad. It's not super great. I let me see. This is gets a 3.5. I would give it a whoa, look at that. Whoa, almost a beer emergency. Look at that. I love the color of the head, if anything. Wow, this thing really foams up a lot, doesn't it? Man, where's my emergency towel here? This thing really always have a towel nearby, man. You never know, man. When you're having beers at home, just have one on standby because you never know. It didn't quite pour all over, but boy, and the head's really just and there's not a lot of foam in the bottle. That's what's kind of crazy, is it? The minute I pour it, well, I'm pouring it kind of anyway. So anyway, I'll just continue having this IPA, which is solid. This I would buy again. The Scuttlebutt, I don't know. I keep looking at it. It might be a while before I buy it again, sort of thing. Kind of like Guinness. Like if I buy Guinness, I buy the extra stout. But the regular drought, I just kind of get that. mm, Maybe if I'm out somewhere, it's kind of crazy because when I do have a steak, I like a stout or a porter. I like something like this. I like a darker beer. So I'm going to ask them what their beer list is, and typically your bigger chain steakhouses, it, their stout is going to be Guinness draft. So a drought or whatever they like, a drought. I don't know, but so that's when I'll kind of order it. Hey, Carrie, what's up? Happy New Year! Yeah, absolutely. I got a new full-time job. Start on Monday. First shift. Now weekends. Housekeeping. All right. Well, if you were here, I'd hire you. I need a housekeeper. Got to make money for my beer honey. Yeah, absolutely. And Carrie, actually, speaking of Bud Light, is a Bud Light drinker. We haven't seen Carrie in a little while, and I love when she gets on because that's a real treat for me when she gets on. So yeah, this is there's a lot of figures that used to show up all the time. We had our Friday share beer regulars, and it's fun to see other people able to come back, right? Because we all had different schedules, and I worked nights, now I work days, and yeah, she says, I'm a Bud Light. Aw, thanks, Joe. I always remember. Carrie's our Bud Light drinker. Always remember, man. Yeah, no, Carrie, it's a treat when Carrie gets on there. I appreciate it. And salute to her and to housekeeping and all the housekeepers out there that do watch the show. I really appreciate you. And I'm personally looking for a housekeeper. A house cleaner, actually. So, however you like to interpret housekeepers. But yeah, I looking for a good, affordable Affordable is the key word, right? A good, affordable house cleaner. Hey, this is way better than the drama channel. So yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate that. I don't mean to take you away from YNR and everything else. Those are. Hey, we got Tom in here. What's up, brother?
What's up, y'all? How you doing
Yeah.
today?
Oh, we're doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good.
Sorry, I'm making a bunch of noise like a rubbish.
Oh, you're all right, man.
You know what really chaps my ass?
Yeah, what is it? What
go
grinds your? Do you remember that episode of Family Guy? You know what really grinds my gears?
That was a good episode. That was a really good episode.
That was a great episode, man. Yeah. And that turned into like a whole thing for him. You remember? He had this whole grind your gears thing, and he turned into this major celebrity, which is equivalent to the social media celebrities that we have now, I think, right?
It's like the same thing with the chicken. When he fought the chicken, like, it would just
but
flashbacks.
The chicken fighting is just this continuous random thing. Like all of a sudden, it's kind of like they run out of stuff for that episode. So they're like, here's the chicken fight, right? And they just fight.
And you think it's done too, but they go commercial to commercial and they're just fighting the whole entire time. It's like, what the hell?
It's great. Yeah. But what grinds your gears, man? What really chaps your ass?
It's something stupid, but it's like when you go into a liquor store and you go grab a beer to buy, but they don't put the right price in front of it. So you get there like, oh, shoot, yeah, I'm going to get the beer. And then it's like $25 and you're like,
oh, yeah.
And then they look at like you're crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like you're the one nuts. And I'm like, no, yo, you know what happens here in this situation is you had it in front of the $15.99 instead of the real $25.99 that you intended. So guess what price I get, Chief? The $15.99. Thank you very much. You better move said beers because duh, you effed up is the way I see it, right?
That's how it should be, because if it was like that, they'd be more motivated to change the prices, right?
Oh no, you see this face? This face makes a major yeah, I go all in, baby. I'm all in because it's like, look, you shouldn't have put that price. You know what I'm saying? That's the price you advertised. That's the price.
Yeah. And then they also, what they do is they don't change the prices, or they switch out the products in different shelves and leave the prices from the last product. So it's almost like a gamble when you go up and not knowing.
Yeah, you're like, okay,
expensive.
Yeah, you're like, it's like, you're handing the cashier your credit card, right? Your debit card, credit card, and it's like you're pulling a slot machine or something. You're like, yeah, whatever, just charge me whatever you feel like, right? I don't have any idea. Just, all right. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. You're like, yeah, all right. Or it's like ding, 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 ding. Oh. Like, yeah, I mean, it just, it's not fair. Absolutely.
And I felt bad too. I even said something. I was like, half the products aren't even like priced right. And she was like, oh, we do it all the time. I'm like, obviously not. I mean, I don't want to be a dick, but I mean, no, you can also tell someone that something's wrong without being a dick, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh, I'm pretty insistent. I'm like, no, dude, that's the price you advertised. That ain't my fault. Straighten your employees out over there. See those people? Get them on the right page, because that is the price you showed. That's the price I'm paying. Thank you very much. How far do you want to go with this? Because we can go pretty far, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna win. You know why? Because I know the law. Thank you very much. So how far you want to go? Yeah. Because if we got to go to that point, you're gonna pay a lot more than $15.99, right? So what you want to lose right now, right? You want to lose the $10, or would you rather lose hundreds? Because if we got to go in front of the man with the big black jacket on, guess what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get a lot more than what I'm asking for now. So let's make it.
It's not even that too. They're losing money from you too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm gonna win that battle. I'm gonna win. I've been to court enough times. I what I love about America and being an American citizen is that I exercise my rights as an American citizen. I have served my country, which is one thing, but it is peanuts next to exercising your rights as an American citizen to
Mhm.
sue somebody. When you sue somebody and you win, brother, sex don't compare. Let me tell you. Well, sex after that is wicked. Let me tell you. But it is awesome to go to court and defend yourself in court in front of the man, in
Mhm.
front of the man, that man. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
defend yourself in front of the man. It's nerve wracking. It'll almost make you pee your pants. I mean, it's nerve wracking, bro.
Just
It'll
sworn
make you
in, you've
it'll
been
make you
outside.
shake.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, man, you're like, F yeah, man. F yeah. Right? Like you want to have sex in public after that. You know what I'm saying? You're like, hell yeah. I want to have sex on the courtyard steps right here, baby. This is awesome. Right? It's like it you feel that great. It's a great I have done that 5 times. It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I am that guy. I'm a nice guy,
I
but
mean, you got to stick up for yourself, though. That's
I will defend myself. You bet your sweet ass I will. I will sue you. I will. I will exercise my rights as an American citizen. You bet. And it is an absolute power. People say it all the time. People say it all the time. They're like, oh man, I could sue you. Yeah, you could, but will you? Let's do this, right?
yeah.
I know my rights. I've been there, right?
Mhm.
I've actually had the papers. Boom, put in someone's hand. It's powerful, man. It is powerful. It is powerful. I know the whole process in and out. I can tell you that is the big secret about me, I suppose. I don't really talk about it, but I have. And I have and I will. Yeah, I have and I will.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? I don't, it's not my intention, but I know my rights. You know what I'm saying?
no, you're
And
right.
more importantly, I know your rights.
Hmm.
And so when you're absolutely wrong and you're just 100% wrong and I can see right away we're just not going to get anywhere, then I'll serve you. That's the way it works. I'll go to court, I pay my money, you get served. And let's have a man figure it out. And that's a pretty powerful thing, let me tell you.
It's like scheduling a duel, right?
Oh yeah, look, I could come over there. Look, me and you could have a disagreement
Yeah.
face to face. I could kick your ass. You
Mm.
don't care. You're
Yeah.
going to heal, right? Those wounds are going to heal. You're going to go to the hospital, get a band-aid, right? Get 4 stitches. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're going to heal up and whatever. That guy was still an asshole, right?
Yeah.
If I sue you in court and win, your grandchildren will know my name, right? That's the way. I mean, it sticks with you, man. It changes your life. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyway.
It's like having a boxing record. That's like a defeat on your record.
It's,
It's like that.
brother, let me tell you, man. There's almost in this country, in our society, actually, in our society, I don't give a damn where you're at. In our society, you could be in like Neri in Holland, you could be wherever you're at in the world, watching this right now. If you win in court, it's the most powerful thing you have,
Oh yeah.
no matter
Just
what.
telling you what. Like that's why so many like famous like court appearances throughout the years are brought up to bring up what's happening now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you can always find something in the past that happened in Supreme Court that you can justify what's happening now
yeah.
to make a point. It's
And
written
that's
in stone.
That's exactly how it works. You want to change something? You can protest all you want. Protest. Lay down on something if you want, right? Lay
Yeah,
down on this if you want. Okay. That's not doing a damn thing. Go to court. Go to court, right? We Roe versus Wade and all this other stuff, all these other, right? That's how stuff changes, man. That's
yeah.
boom. Like you said, this is now boom. There's a reference,
Well,
that's the way it
people
works.
look at it like, oh, I don't like someone that sues somebody. But when it's your time and you need to sue somebody, you have that right.
Yeah.
So it's vice versa. Everyone has their own stand. Everyone's
Yep.
standing on 2 feet. Well, if you have 2 feet or any feet, but you know what I mean. But everyone can hold their own.
And you can absolutely abuse it too. So you can get to
Yeah.
a point where if you have enough BS lawsuits, a judge will say, dude, you're done. Right. But if you bring a lot of lawsuits and you win a good portion of them, then it's just that keeps going.
Yeah.
Right. And also though, people know that, like, oh, okay, this cat has a, you know what, he's gonna go through with it. They'll take you serious versus, your first time, your second time, they're not going to take you as serious. But if they know you're willing to go through the process, they can look your record up, and they see, oh, okay, yeah, they'll take you a lot more serious. And lawyers are people. That's the one thing you learn right off the bat. Lawyers are people.
Mm.
Don't be too threatened by a lawyer. I live next to one on this side. Don't be too threatened by a lawyer. They're people. They're lazy. People are lazy. Just remember that.
They just know their rights.
Yeah, people are lazy, so they don't want to go to court. Trust me, they don't. If they can stay out of it, they'll negotiate. Makes their life easier. They got a lot of stuff doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to do. So if they look you up and they see, oh, you know what, this cat's serious. Let's negotiate. Let's do. And that's the way it works, man. It's crazy. Hey, by the way, we've got Carrie in here typing in a lot of stuff. We've got.
I love how we got this suing after talking about prices at a liquor store.
Right?
I'm gonna go back there, right?
Isn't that awesome? Yeah. You're gonna go back and be like, yo, boom, hand on, boom, pounding the table over there, pounding the counter. Yo, this is what's up.
Like, listen, buddy.
I'm an American citizen. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna chain myself to this counter. Boom, working.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm gonna save that $2. Damn it! I don't give a damn. That's the
way. Jesus, could have been in my bank account.
Yeah. So what's been going on, man? What do you think about the Patriots and the Chiefs, man?
Oh man. See, what we got here is we got two veterans and two like semi-new quarterbacks, right? We got a rookie. Is Patrick Mahomes a rookie?
He's a second-year quarterback, actually.
But this is like his first actual
first starting, yeah. Just first, so that's why you got to watch out for those keywords because they keep saying, yeah, it's his first year as a starter.
Yeah.
Well, it is not his first year. His first year as a starter. He sat behind and watched Smith. That's what makes Smith so special because Smith really kind of brought him up and showed him the way and then left.
Smith was a good quarterback, though. He just didn't have that X factor.
Yeah, no. He was the guy, just like Andy Reid, that could get you to there, but going over, taking it is another level, and that's what makes Brady so effing special, right? Because the guy just knows it's in his DNA at this point. 250 million years of going to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, he's like, yo, settle down,
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like clockwork. We go to the AFC Championship every single year. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Every year. It's, I think, 14 out of 17 years you've gone to the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
And we've won, I think, 7 of them or 8 of them and lost a couple times in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's pretty incredible. But
it's very incredible.
I still think it's going to be Rams and Patriots. My honest opinion. I think the Rams are going to take the win. And then the Patriots it's going to be within a touchdown because when they played during the season, it was like 40 plus points each team. It was like when the Rams and Chiefs played.
Well, I'm looking at it as a tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
Carrie referenced earlier in the chat something about wrestling. I didn't get to read the whole thing, but there was something about wrestling in there. And Coach definitely is a wrestling coach. He knows. I look at it as a tournament, and the playoffs. And so in that tournament, the 4 teams that are playing right now are the best 4 teams. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
There's no clear cut winner of each of these two games. To me, there is, because I'm very biased, but um, it the Rams Saints game, the Patriots Chiefs game could go either way.
Yeah,
And
'cause
it's funny to me that both games are playing towards each of those divisions' strengths, or those divisions' kind of stereotypes. So you've got the NFC, which is not necessarily known for cold weather and all this sort of thing, is in a dome. Isn't that
yeah,
funny? Like, they're in a dome, it's in a climate controlled environment. There's not going to be wind, there's not going to be any of this. So there's not going to be any of these restraints for two kind of high flying teams. And then you've got the AFC, which is kind of known for its weather, its climate, its outdoors, its natural grass, it's this sort of thing, this grinding sort of thing. And they're talking about, oh, the weather's not going to be as bad for this game. It's going to be right around zero. Not quite as bad as we thought,
yeah.
but
This
zero.
weekend on the East Coast, we're supposed to get some snow Saturday to Sunday, and yeah, they're supposed to get. I don't know if they're getting snow, but it's definitely gonna be cold, like you said.
Yeah, well, this is in the Midwest. So you've got, in Kansas City is the weather we're concerned about for this game. And it's kind of funny because those are kind of right below each other. You've got Kansas City, up here, and you've got New Orleans, which is kind of just a little bit
Yeah.
over this way. It's kind of funny how they're right in line, but this game down south isn't going to matter because it's in a dome. So,
Well, definitely. I mean, you because a lot of teams don't have domes as their stadium. So when you're
right,
playing in a dome, you're playing on different turf. You're playing on it's. I mean, it is a lot different when you're indoors, in my opinion. You're not necessarily getting the weather aspects, but you're getting different. What you're running on is sometimes the most important. You know what I mean? You got a lot of these teams running on just pure grass, and then you got other teams on
yeah.
turf, different kinds of turf. It's a lot different when you cleats and everything. I don't know. It's just different.
And it's interesting too, right? Because you've got the Patriots that play in a newish stadium, right? Was that refurbished or just a
No,
whole new stadium?
they knocked that down. Oh, that stadium's been there for about 15 years.
Yeah, it's a newish stadium. And
Yeah,
they opted to go non-ceiling, right? They opted to play towards their biggest strength, which is,
yeah.
you're coming up here to Boston. You're going to play in the elements, man. We're used to it. This is it. We're Boston strong. This is what we do. We play,
Well,
and
it's not like a Minnesota. Minnesota definitely needs it. If they didn't have
yeah.
it, they probably
Well, but
put a snow.
but at the same time, a lot of people from Minnesota having to play in that college stadium, which wasn't a dome, were kind of like, yo, why aren't you building an outdoor stadium? This is who we are. This
Yeah.
is Minnesota. This is what we do, you
Mhm.
know? And it is kind of at the same time, hey, if you want a Super Bowl, which is what they all want, you build a new stadium. All the owners want a Super Bowl that brings in mega dollars,
Oh yeah.
and your area definitely wants a Super Bowl. And so that's to me, that is the leading factor into building a dome or no dome. The Patriots haven't even tried for a Super Bowl. I don't even think they're in the running for one, are they?
I don't even know. They
I don't
usually
think they
go.
are.
They usually go towards domes or like
Yeah.
a warm climate.
Yeah. And when you think about all the stadiums that are being built right now, all have a lid or a
Yeah,
hybrid lid where they can be removed and put back on, and all that sort of thing.
yeah. 1 second.
Yeah. But that's the typical thing. We got chasing classic whiskeys. He said, I heard if you always trying to sue someone, it's hard to get a job. Is that true? That I don't know, actually.
I mean, if you already have a job and you don't need to worry
Yeah,
about
if you already have a job and you're not planning on leaving, I would, my answer, I guess, would be it would depend on how deep that potential job is going to look and what they're going to look for. My job, it's like getting onto the FBI, for Christ's sake. I don't know that the FBI even checks as deep as they do. My job, they check. It's kind of one of their downfalls, really. They have a hard time employing people because they do such an in-depth check of your background before they hire you. They do. It is insane, and I don't even try to get people on here. I don't even try because
you're driving around with thousands of dollars of product.
Yeah,
driving around with thousands of pounds of product.
Yeah, but not all trucking companies investigate you the way we do, and not all union companies investigate you the way. ABF is unique, man. They just really. There are other trucking union trucking companies that are going under, for instance, or have gone under in the past, and cats from there have tried to get on with us, and they didn't pass. And that's 20 years of driving and all this other stuff.
I think we got ABFs around here.
You absolutely do. Absolutely do.
It's more of like a white canvas with green letters. Is that, or am I thinking differently?
Slightly differently. It can look white, I suppose. It's kind of gray with green and a little, yellow or orange, a gold, however you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I don't see them very often, but I mean, they're mostly on the main highways. You don't see them like in rural areas. You know what I mean, or city areas.
Yeah, we should be all over. We're everywhere. Yeah, we're everywhere. Yeah, all over the United States. All over. There's hardly a place in. If you're starting to go across the pond, then you might not see us as much. But we're literally all over the continental United States and Canada. Yeah, we have terminals, 400 different terminals across this country. So there's definitely a few in Boston, that's for sure.
Wow. Yeah, now that you say that, I can picture the trucks. Yeah, there's definitely a lot around here. I just don't like. Sometimes you don't. You know how you don't look for something until you know something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you notice something all the time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's like a new car. Like, I didn't notice that latest model Mustang until I bought it. Now I see them everywhere. And exactly. That's the way that works. But no, it would depend on your company and how deep they check. And even then, a lot of companies don't check that because that is a different deal. So some companies may not check everything else very hard, but they happen to check that. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. And then you kind of have to wonder if your company does check that, like if they're checking court records and that sort of thing, then maybe they have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're checking that because that becomes an issue. And if that's an issue, do you really want to work for them? Right? Like if they're checking your court background, why? You have to ask yourself, why are they checking this? How often are you guys getting sued by employees? Like, what if that's an issue? Do I really want to work for you? Do I, so it would depend. That potential job, to me, it would depend. It really. And it's
a Friday.
Yeah, we're doing an old school Friday. What is now old school because it's now a year. I guess we could kind of call it really old school episode. But yeah, it's a throwback kind of last minute pop up. Friday beer. Since I am off, why not? Right.
So I heard lawsuit. I was like, hey, whoa.
Right, yeah. It's kind of like us mentioning weed, and the next thing you know, we have our friend from Arizona jumping in, and the herb prophet, and because you mentioned weed, and he is the prophet of the herb, so that's the way that works. Boy, Mark, have you ever had scuttlebutt?
No.
Okay, I
What
am
is it?
pouring it as easily as I possibly can. I had probably that much left in the bottle. Look how much this beer is prone to foam. Hey, you see what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
Prone to foam.
Mm.
Anyway, it made that much head. Look at that, a 2-finger head, and all I did was pour that much of the. It just it just is foams up a lot. So no, Tom had jumped in earlier, and we just started on this big lawsuit thing, and so hey, we have Bum in there now. Best wishes, guys. I can't join or even watch today on account of my effing job. So,
Yeah.
work just gets in the way. I think Mark got a secret.
The boss
clearance
let
from
me
his boss.
take some time off. Yeah.
So he's got that little bit. He's got a little bit of a pretty lenient boss. So he's able to do that sort of thing.
I was working at midnight last night, so he said I could.
Yeah, he was really grinding it out. That's right. So I did an open box live on the air. And
oh, you did? What you open?
I showed my new scale that I just got.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
So here's the scale kit, actually, which came with the case and the scale itself.
Okay.
And this stuff. Maybe you can explain what that is. I don't know what all this is.
It's weights to calibrate your scale, probably.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Just make sure that it's showing whatever it's showing. So
I have all of that, and then I have my new
Top of the morning to you, Mark.
Hey Tom, how's it going?
My new static brush.
Good.
That's
okay, yep.
That just came. And then my new record clamp. Which is very cool. This thing is actually pretty weighty. I didn't expect it to be that heavy.
Is that the project one?
No, it's an aftermarket, but I just love the way it looked.
Oh, cool. Send me the link to that, because I don't have a record clamp yet, and I've been interested to try one out. So I'm assuming that wasn't too expensive, like $25-$30.
30, yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of them are under like $12. They're like $12, but this one I went ahead and spent there. I love the way it looked. I love that polished sort of billet look.
That's kind of nice.
So
it's kind of like a spinner for your turntable.
Yeah, it just seemed it to me it made sense. Some stuff just you see it and you're like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably does something, I don't know, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
So if it looks cool, and I'm like, okay, even if it doesn't make sense, it looked cool.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I get it. My turntable is this piano black finish and everything. Did you see my turntable, Tom?
I think I was away for the moment when you were showing.
Okay, so since I'm painting and I happen to have it on hand, here's my turntable, and that's what my record clamp on it.
Oh, cool! That does look pretty good. Yeah, and I might have to get that because my it's essentially the same except without the Rolling Stones logo on it.
Yeah. Mark was the inspiration for my turntable. We both have the Project Debut. Mark has the carbon, since he has the carbon fiber tone arm. I don't. I have my tone arm and cartridge is the same as the Project 3. The Project something 3. But this is the old model. The Debut Carbon replaced this model. So I happen to. There's 2 different models of the Rolling Stones. 2 different, not 3. 2 different models of the Rolling Stones limited edition table that they have, and I got lucky and got the. There's one that was the Project Debut version 3, and there was one that was the. Essentials, that's what they call it. Project Essentials 3 version, which has the thinner plinth. So you have the switch on the side instead of the bottom. I lucked out and got the debut version of it. So I got the thicker plinth. So it's heavy.
That's good.
The difference between me and Mark's is that he has a carbon fiber tone arm, which I believe is still the same tone arm. It's just carbon fiber.
Yeah, I mean, I think yours is aluminum.
Yeah,
Mine's carbon fiber. So
yeah.
supposedly the carbon fiber is less. I don't know, whatever. It's probably
just
maybe a tad lighter and maybe dampens a little bit more, but
yeah. Now Mark has the better cartridge though, so Mark has a better cartridge than I do. But I was willing to sacrifice because I saved $200.
Yeah,
which is major.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I paid an extra 100 over yours. I paid like 175 for the carbon fiber tone over the cartridge.
Exactly, and we have the same table, so that's what makes it really cool. But I got a limited edition, so I was thinking about upgrade. But once I had this thing, the platter, which is the actual, I don't know, the metal actual turntable part of it itself. I don't know how to explain it to
it's a platter. Yeah, it's aluminum, right?
But the platter was much heavier. Everything is much heavier than I'd seen in YouTube videos. Everybody kind of makes it out to be these like, oh well, this is super light and this and that. Everything's got some heft to it. This thing is 16 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. It's heavier than you would think it would be.
Yeah, it really is. It's
for sure.
And so I already had it in my shopping cart to get the upgraded that acrylic.
Oh, okay.
Platter. But I took it out the minute I unboxed this thing. I was like, this is good enough. This thing is like nice, Yep. I could see getting another cartridge, but the problem with this tone arm is that you can't just you can't just unscrew it, and you have to replace the whole cartridge and line it up and everything, right?
I think you should be able to unplug the whole cartridge and plug in what you have the Ortofon M or
10.
10. Okay. So yeah, you just need to Google and see, because mine is the next upgrade for you would be like the 2M series, the 2M red, blue or bronze or whatever. But just see, I think you can probably just take that off, buy the new 2M red, and just slide the whole thing. It wouldn't be just the stylus, it'd be the whole cartridge. You'd have to take the whole cartridge, but I think it just kind of pops in, pops out. Then you might have to tweak it a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad.
I have to admit, it took me like 4 different goes to get this darn thing to even work. It wasn't quite as straightforward to a completely ignorant record player guy. It wasn't. It's simple, but it's a matter of aligning that tone arm with the weight and everything was. It's not hard. None of this is like rocket science. It's just like, it took me 4 different tries of putting the record on and then being like, whoa, my tone arm, which I thought was balanced, is like doink, and so it took a little bit of getting that lined up to where, and I'm still not, that's why I'm thankful to get the scale, because I definitely want to test the downforce. I don't want to ruin a record, and I don't want to ruin my stylus. So when you told me to get the scale, it made sense, because I'm like, I don't want. I want to make.
Now I don't know what's the recommended. What do they say the tracking force for your cartridges? Probably like 1.5 to 1.8 or something like that.
1.5. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you just make sure you're not really below that and not way above it.
Yeah.
So I mean, for mine it's 1.8, and I've got it to like if you go too light, I mean you can't be too light because then it just doesn't track.
Right.
And it's not riding in the groove deep enough, so you don't get all the sound. So if you get it, pretty close, and that scale you got will get you down to 1/100 of a gram. So you can be 1.81.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
And that's what I want. I want just a little bit more than the 1.5. I'm thinking if I'm 1.6, 1.7.
Yeah.
I think I would want it 1.7 just to be sure that it's in the groove good.
And try like one. Well, try it at 1.5 and try it. I mean, if you've got the anti-skating weight, the little weight on the string at the back, if you've got that set up, and then the tone arm is you've kind of set that counterweight so it's kind of balanced, then you just dial that thing in at the back to adjust the weight and then test it. I found on mine the little dial, it says when you turn it, it says it's like 1.8.
Yeah.
But it was actually only like 1.7, so it was off just a teeny tiny bit. So I put it on the scale and then changed the so the little dial on the back says it's like 1.85, but it's really actually 1.8. So it's off. It's off like half a gram or something. So. And
then I have to get that app that shows you the spin.
Oh yeah. What is the one I have? Hi, Crusher.
Hey, we got Crusher in the house.
Yeah, Crusher.
We got Havana in here.
Shouldn't he be in school?
You're right. Yeah, he's still school age.
He's writing arithmetic, not.
I don't even know that he's not. He's high school age.
Yeah, unless maybe they're off for the long Martin Luther King weekend. I don't know.
Is that what that is? Or maybe he's in school. I don't know. Maybe he's in class right now. He's still trying. He is saying shh.
Oh, okay. He probably is in school. So my little thing is called. You just do RPM, like record RPM app or whatever. Mine is called RPM Speed, the app.
I'm gonna look that.
Let me just see. Right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna look that up right this second.
Yeah, that's probably worthwhile. Mine is called RPM Speed and Wow.
That's interesting names.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of. I put that on and tested it, and then compared it to what they said the specs of the turntable should be. So that it calculates the percentage of wow and flutter or whatever, and it was right in spec. So, I'm good.
Well, I keep hearing all the reviews keep saying that the Projects. That's why I knew I was going to get one of the two turntables, the Project and the other one that I was looking at, the
Riga. Is that the one?
Riga. Yeah. The Project and the Riga, that they were pretty much out of the box, like the most accurate. Like they just, it's pretty much unbox and play almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which is
and
good.
It's funny because the more money you spend in which is hilarious to me, because the more money you spend in hi-fi, period, the more you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, funny. Mm-hmm. Like the less you get, and the more you got to do. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious to me. It's like, what? Wait a minute. I'm gonna pay about $10,000 less money, and I have to do less. I can literally unpack it and play stuff, and I hook up a few chords and I'm good. Yeah. But if I pay 10 grand or more, then I've got to literally assemble the whole god flipping thing myself. What is up with this?
Yeah. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, and that's what they say. That is the whole fun of it, right? Yeah,
just to tweak out and geek and
it is kind of comical though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it is.
The more money you spend on everything with hi-fi, and literally 2-channel hi-fi, the differences between 2-channel and home theater are night and day. It is incredible. But the problem is, and I hear some of the extreme guys talking about this, because the extreme guys are actually making the gear. And I hear some of them talking about it. The more they get into actually making gear, the more they realize the dilemma. Like, hey, you're trying to make a product that guys like me and you are going to buy, right? Yeah. And the guys like me and you, the problems that we have with our day-to-day reality of life is you only have so much square footage in your home.
Yeah.
A lot of us can only afford so much home. And so even the people that make a really good income only can afford so much home for your particular area. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us end up in the same square footage, if you will, right? And you might have the luxury of having one extra bedroom, but your bedrooms are what, 12 by 12 if you're lucky?
Yeah.
You know?
I know, and it's definite. And it's funny because if you go on and you look at the, if you go to like some of the forums or whatever, and a guy's like, I just got my new $25,000 speakers and I matched it up with my $50,000 amp. And then they show a picture of their, it's a sweet system, but it's in like their living room and it's this tiny space. And, you know, you're just completely, I think, wasting all the stuff you get, you know, all the improvement that you would get because you're trying to cram it into this small little space and it's not set up properly. And yeah, but they got $100,000 in their hi-fi system. So
I'm going to add to what Mark is saying because this is the funny dark secret with hi-fi. If anybody even gives a rip in the first place, let's get that part out of the way. If you do kind of are, if you're even the least little bit curious, the big dark secret with this stuff is actually Asian hi-fi. Almost nobody can afford what these cats can. Everything Japanese and who else? The Chinese are up there as far as like, you know, once you start getting into hi-fi systems that cost probably 10 or 15,000 or more, they're geared towards that customer. Because that's once you get into that category, that's the most of their customer base. And what's hilarious is that customer base is so geeked out. This is how geeked they are. This is how far geeked they are. We can be football geeks. We can be all this sort of thing. And we know them, like, right? In our particular areas, we know that football geek, quote unquote. That guy has his whole basement is literally every square almost inch of that place is covered with name your football team, Alabama football, or you know, Patriots football or Rams football, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That is not this. Trust me. These guys are so geeked out. We know computer geeks, and they literally, they have more old computer, and you walk in their house and they don't even care about furniture, but their whole house is covered. No. Your Japanese and Chinese audiophiles this is how geeked out they are. They would rather have less of a house so they can have more expensive audio gear. They will sell their house to have a smaller house so they can have more expensive audio gear because they are that in search of the perfect sound to them.
Sounds like a great customer.
Yeah,
exactly. Right. So if you've got a customer that die hard, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to gear your, hey, we got Jay Vega in here. But it's crazy, man. Yeah. They are that geeked out. And so when you see their systems, they're and as a matter of fact, they're in an area smaller than your living room because the Japanese and Chinese audiophiles, they have much smaller homes than we do. Like 10 by 10, but they're 10 like whatever in the hell they are. What is that? Not meters. Is it meters?
Yeah, so it'd be like 3 by 3 meters.
Yeah, 3 by 3. Yeah, stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But in any case, what the people that are manufacturing the gear are the big dilemma is, okay, we're going to create these huge. I'm going to create the best of the best. That's what everybody wants to do with beer. That's what everybody wants to do with beer, right? Hey, boom. Zach makes a brewery. You know what? Boom. I'm going to make this. Boom. Pounding the table. Boom. Like it or not. Boom. This is the best, right? The problem is we are dealing with something that has to do with our 5 senses. It has to deal with one of our 5 senses. With beer, we are dealing with our sense of taste. With music, we are dealing with our sense of sound. And these are very, very personal things. And so the perfect this or that is perfect to us, but it might not be perfect to anybody else in the whole world. Okay, but a lot of people can agree when it comes to sound that, yeah, this is ideal. Like these speakers that are behind me need room to breathe, is what the big expression, quote unquote, room to breathe. Yep. So they will have these speakers 3 feet from any wall around it. Yeah. Well, who in the hell's got that kind of room? Because you need to make I'll lay it out for you. Staging, the ideal staging, what they mean by staging, your speakers, two speakers, okay? When you see someone perform in your local bar, whatever it is, sounds great, right? You love it. You love the experience of it. What you're trying to duplicate with two speakers, and mind you, how many microphones are recording this quote unquote staging to duplicate this across your speakers? This is the big dilemma with engineers. So with two speakers, you're supposed to duplicate the best you can the staging that appears when you see a live artist. So when you see so your speakers are essentially supposed to image and stage that live performance that would have happened behind them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So wrap your head around that. Like, that's what you're trying to duplicate. For one, who in the hell's got room for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you do have that luxury, then you're in a whole nother atmosphere, right? Because a lot of us don't have that kind of room. And so what you're trying to do is from a foot or maybe 2 feet from the wall. As you can see, I've got these speakers behind me a little over a foot from the wall, almost 2 feet, not quite. So that is the best you're going to do for staging. This room here isn't that big, and this is the best you're going to do for staging. So you're trying to the best you can with two speakers, trying to figure out, okay, when I'm hearing this song, you want to have the speakers, you want to be able to kind of close your eyes or at least picture in your head the singer being in one spot and the speakers essentially disappearing the best they can, and you're trying to picture the singer in one spot, the guitarist in one spot, the drummers in one spot. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to set that whole stage the best you can. And that is an audio file.
And then to get it right, you've got to set yourself exactly, in the sweet spot. And if you move your head 3 inches one way or the other, everything just falls apart.
Mark is right, because when you're there's an ideal seating position. There's not two. There's one.
There's one. Yep.
So for a lot of these listening areas, there's literally one chair in the room.
Yeah.
That it's hilarious. It's common.
You've got one chair right in the sweet spot, and then you've got other chairs, but they can sit down, but they're not going to get anything near
you're not
gets. You're like, what the hell? This doesn't. My phone sounds better than this. And the guy in the sweet spot's like, oh,
this is amazing.
This is the best thing ever. I'm talking to God right now.
I'm listening to God poop, and this is awesome. Yeah, it's. And that is being an audiophile.
Yeah. So we don't have any problems. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No OCD here. Trust
Not at
me.
all.
There's
not at all.
And so it's a complete different. It's a complete sickness is really what it is. And to answer everyone's question, no, there's virtually no women at any of these audio fests.
It's all old guys.
It's all gray-haired dudes.
Yeah.
It's literally, there's not even young dudes at these things. It's literally all old dudes.
Yeah. You got to be at least over. You got to be over 45 to get in the door, I think.
Yeah, they card you. If you're like 30, you're out.
No kids allowed. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's really hilarious is we're the ones that can't hear anything.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's the big joke, is that the guys that can hear everything can't afford any of this stuff, and the guys that can't afford it can't hear it. So it's like, what's the difference, man? Yeah, so That's the funniest part of the whole damn thing. Is
Yeah.
it is comical, but
Yeah.
it's fun. It's another expensive, very expensive hobby. Actually, it's I could be into automobiles, and it wouldn't be as expensive as this hobby. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely the most expensive hobby I'm into.
It can be, yeah, and it's really, really hard to. I mean, no matter how much money you want to spend, there's always something else you could buy.
Because it's technology,
yeah,
and just like automobiles, there's always another best, greatest thing. And what moves fast? What moves faster than tech?
Mm-hmm.
Like. And you're at the forefront of that tech with audio.
Mm-hmm.
Audio. What is more at the forefront of tech than audio? You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing would be maybe photography. Even photography don't move as quick as that. Like,
yeah, it seems like it. Yeah,
there is literally always a better sounding or different sounding this,
mm-hmm.
right? Like you can wait a matter of weeks. And there's always, oh, you know what? We've got this. Boom. And then this idiot comes out with something. And then
mm-hmm.
everybody swears on a stack of Bibles that, you know what? That is the best. And then this other idiot 2 weeks later is like, well, suck it because I got this. And they're like, whoa. And all of these things cost $5,000.
Yeah. I'll show you the, I'm starting to, this is bad. I'm starting to look at upgrading my DAC, which I've had for 4 years. So yeah, it's,
boy.
That's probably going to be my next purchase sometime this year. So yeah, and that's
an animal. That's serious.
Mm-hmm.
You can go down. DACs, I would tell people DACs are like tires. Tires on a car, very personal, right? Like we're all looking for something with our tires. Tires they're a staple, right? We all need tires to roll to get where we need to go. With digital audio, we all need a DAC, whether you realize it or not. You have to have a DAC to listen to your music. Period. The way we listen to music these days, it's digital. It's ones and zeros. Something is, if it's in your phone, whether you realize it or not, you're using a digital. DAC stands for digital to audio conversion, converter or conversion, or what is it, Mark? Converter.
Digital. I think it's digital analog converter.
Yeah, so digital to analog.
Digital makes it into a signal that your amplifier can deal with.
That's what it stands for. So we all use a DAC, whether you realize it or not. Just like with a car, you jump in a car, you don't think about the tires. You're just like, all right, the tires get me there. Who cares? They're tires. Yeah. I just want the cheapest tires I can get. Who gives a rip? Yeah. Well, once you start getting into tires, now you realize, okay, well, I've got winter tires, I've got summer tires, and I've got all these different levels of each. And how far do you want to go? Plus, I've got the all-terrains and different levels of that. So, you know, there's some. They do sound different.
Yeah. You know, they all, because of the way they're designed or the way they build them, they can have a different sound. So it's not just converting the ones and zeros to a signal, because that used to be, all DACs sound everything sounds the same. It's just digital. Well, no, it depends how you convert it and all kinds of stuff. And it's crazy. Yeah.
It's for the geeks, what it has done is taken analog that was just analog, really. When you think back on it, analog was just analog for a little while. You had your analog, you have your different sound stages for that too. There's different phono stages for this record player.
Oh yeah. Then between that and the preamp, I mean, it's so. Everybody says, I want to reproduce what it was supposed to sound like. And that's total BS, because every speaker's different, every room's different, every phono. I mean, there's no way. All you can do is find something that has the sound you like. The music you like to listen to. Yeah. And whatever that is, it is. I mean, there is no perfect sound.
No.
I don't, You know, it's whatever you like. I mean, some people like vinyl, you know, turntable over digital. And then other people will be like, well, I can get this DAC that makes the digital music sound more like a vinyl record.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all.
Why is my question? Why? Yeah. Why would you want to do that? That's my
question. When you listen to God poop, like head coach says, you want to make. Does it sound warm or does it sound harsh and analytical? I mean, do you want to analyze his poop or do you just want to be enveloped in his poop?
Yes. Do you want to hear all the snap, crackling, popping? Or
like, what the
hell? You know, how big of a decibel range do you want to hear of?
What's the dynamic range of God's poop? I want to hear from the quietest to the loudest. When God takes a dump, I want to know.
And I want an alert on my phone to get it. Yeah, it is. It you know, I'm not an audiophile. I don't consider myself an audiophile by any means, but I could see where someone that isn't into it would think that I am, at least in the beginning stages of becoming one. I don't consider myself one.
No.
I consider myself more of a realist. Because I'm not a dedicated 2-channel guy. I definitely want to have a dedicated 2-channel area of my home. I am a hybrid is the best I can describe myself, because I am that guy that wants to live somewhere in the middle, which is where a lot of your hardcore are very uncomfortable. They're like, oh no, you can't have both. And I'm like, you're gonna have to, because And what's the big conundrum for the hardcore is that they're making the gear, they're manufacturing the equipment, because they're getting so frustrated, and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna make it because nobody's making it. Nobody, right? In the history of hi-fi, nobody's making it, but they're gonna make it. And I'm going to make the best. Boom, boom, boom. And then they make the best. And they're like, well, no one's buying it. Why? Well, because this is where we live, folks. Right? And so their problem is that, okay, if I want to stay in business now, because now it's about money, and it's like, you know, okay, what is everybody really doing? Well, this is the space that we actually have to live with. Yep. And if you have a significant other, that significant other doesn't like these huge boxes all over the home that are, you know, and so you have to live with these things. And and so that's the big real part of it, right? So and that's where it gets back to the gray hairs, because who in the hell else can not only afford the gear but has the room for the gear, because all the kiddos and all the other stuff that gets in the way of the hi-fi is out of the way.
Yeah.
It's the gray hairs. We're the ones that can afford it. So
I'm fortunate from the standpoint that we've got a basement, and there was one room that was finished, and for years and years and years we just had an extra TV and then like our treadmill and workout equipment in there. And then when we got the two new cats, they just started attacking the speakers. So, you know, when you were at my house, you saw the speakers had the boxes over them.
Yeah.
Well, I finally like, well, screw that. I put my money in here. I'm going to rearrange. So I rearrange my basement. Now I've got my 2-channel stuff is in the basement in that room. But, you know, I still got little speakers up by the TV and the DAC and all that stuff. So I can still listen to it. It sounds good, but it doesn't sound as good as the room in the basement. But, you know, the cats don't go down there, so I don't have to worry about them destroying my speakers and all that fun stuff. So, but most people don't have that extra room.
Yeah,
you know?
That's just it.
Know? And I just had that basement, and it was some space that was there, and it's not a fancy room. It's just basically a concrete floor, some carpet, and some cheap ass acoustic tiles on the ceiling and some lights. But it worked, you know. I'll tweak it, and I can go down there and just listen to music, and it sounds really good. But yeah. And when I get an extra $100,000, and I'll tweak it out completely, and I'll put a suspended floor on giant springs so it doesn't affect the dynamic range when God takes a dump.
Yeah, what's funny is all this stuff that I'm doing is literally because of this record player. So that I'd save $200 on the record player itself physically.
You didn't save any money, Joe.
But I didn't save any money because now I'm going to spend about $150 in paint and everything else because, you know, in order to get the room for the record player in my main listening area, I have to mount my TV now on the wall. In order to mount the TV on the wall, well, I can't just put it on the wall. I want to make sure I paint first, you know, so I got to paint, get all that prepped and ready. And then I can put the TV on the wall like it should be. And I got to, of course, put the cords through the wall and do all of that.
Yep.
And then I will finally have room for my record player where it's supposed to go. And then after that, now I've got well, that ain't perfect. That's not the perfect area. Yeah. So I've got actually another integrated amp, which we'll see it sooner or later. You will see it here on camera. And that'll be in here where this will turn these speakers into a sort of this dedicating listening area. But I've already got another set of speakers which are going to replace my main towers in my main listening area, and that'll be and so I'll put those towers in another room of the home and turn that into my main 2-channel area.
Cool. So which integrated amp are you getting, Joe?
I don't know which one I'm going to settle in on. I'm looking at actually the I'm becoming, I guess I would have to say, because it would be another Outlaw purchase, but I definitely have that Outlaw integrated on my radar.
Well, it's really well reviewed and people really like it.
I think it's the 2160, the Outlaw 2160, something like that. And then you've got
high value, good sounding.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere around $800, which is, you know, not dirt cheap, but Mark knows as far as hi-fi, it's very cheap. It's, you know, it competes with gear that's at least $1,000 more.
No, the Outlaw has always got a good reputation for building good stuff.
Coach is funny. He's like, I can't even. These bastards can afford everything. I can't. Meanwhile, I'm financing toilet paper.
It's one of those deals where once the kids are out, they're out of the picture, or you're just single in general. All of a sudden, you're like, where'd all this money come from, right? Because, well, you know, you can save the cash. It's not something that you just can just randomly go. Well, I guess you do. Well, if you save your money and the kids are out of the picture. My youngest is 24. You know what I'm saying? So kids are out of the picture. I go visit them. They're like snow to me. Since I'm here in Arizona, I go visit snow. It's literally what I did the last few days. I was like, oh, there's snow. I haven't seen snow in years. That's my life now, right? I am that guy. I go visit snow, right? And I go visit kids. When I want to see kids, I'm like, oh, here's children. Here, I am grandpa. I will give you money. It is what grandpas do. I'm gone now, done spending money. Bye. Yay, good experience. Now that was good experience. Now on to better experiences, which are, checking out hi-fi and spending money on that. Yeah, it's crazy. That's the way it works. You know what I'm
saying? Head coach says, disgusting old bastards. They can afford everything. Well, not quite, but
yeah, not quite. It's just it may be the stuff perhaps you can't get now, and you possibly can afford it. It's just that you have to put that money towards other stuff. The priorities are different.
Yeah.
Once you don't have all these other things in the way, and then you're like, hey, guess what? Shiny new audio gear. Say hello to Papa. Because that's the way it works, man. Why do you think the old guys have the cool cars and the cool this and the cool that, and all the other junk's out of the way? Especially the cool older guy that let go of the other half too. Like, it's amazing how much money you've got when you let go of the other half. It's something special. Let me tell you, man.
It was like a laugh of ecstasy.
It's like, yes. All of a sudden, like, things just kind of, oh, this is nice. No, I'm just kidding. Every
moment and watch things a little.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this is magical. No, but it's you definitely, going through any rough time, whatever it may be, right? No longer how long that rough time may have been, you never forget it, because that rough time was rough. And that helps make you into what you are now. So you can appreciate certain things that much more because of the struggle and the journey that it took to get to that place, right? And that's part of maturing. That's part of life. And once you get to that point where you've raised your kids and they're out of the house and they're doing their own thing, and they're not like rolling over money successful. It's not that. It's just that their success, to me, watching from afar, their success to me is they're sustaining themselves. They're able to not ask for money anymore. Then they're sustaining their own life. And to me, that is success. They don't see it as success. Trust me. If you were to ask my kids, if they're like, are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? To me, they're successful because they're sustaining themselves now. And from that, then they'll start building and building and building and building, and success will mean different things at those levels. But to me, on my level, success is watching my kids sustain their own lives. They're able to maintain and grow from there without having to dip into the past, which is me, and take from my checking account. You know what I'm saying? So, but you do always. And so to me, to get this turntable is a huge thing for me. To be able to go to my local beer store and just buy beer as I want is a luxury. It's a thing that I never take for granted every single time I do it, because it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. I'm able to spend my cash in areas that I want, and that's the way it works. That's life, right? It's you didn't hear me. If you were to go back 10 years ago, I had to ask permission from the committee and all that sort of thing. So you can see my life play out. It's all live on video. And there's different stages. And in this particular stage I am in, and that's why I'm very reluctant to get back into that that other stage.
Have the finance committee.
Yeah, I don't want to have to get the approval committee again. Yeah, I kind of like the committee we have now, which is the committee of one. Amazingly, though, I have to say, it is amazing how you'll have like 3 different sides of yourself that you feel like do have to meet the committee. Like, you're like, and you feel like, really? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. What do you think? Oh, well, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, yeah, maybe we'll wait. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Before you get to the committee?
Yeah, you're like
a revaluation.
It's the internal committee.
No, you're right. I think we should do that. What? Oh, you don't think we should?
Where that come from?
Well, I think. Oh, well.
You know what? Next week might be better time.
Yeah, so you're like
a lot brighter.
I'm glad we had this meeting, and because yes, we will postpone this meeting until next week, and we'll commit again. And that's the way that So yeah, and you're like, wait a minute, I think I'm the only one here. So it's a trip how you'll get 3 different sides of yourself, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right,
Yep.
yeah, you okay, all right.
Yeah, that's all. There's only so much disposable income, so you got to balance it out.
Yeah.
So like when I got my camera, it took me a year and a half to save up enough money to get my large format camera, and I've been saving for my new DAC for almost a year at this point, and it'll probably be later on this year before I get it. So
yeah,
it's just
and that's the fun to me, is because you save and you save and you save for that luxury item, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's nothing but a luxury item.
Think about yourself, Tom. Like, maybe it's a BMW. I don't know. Maybe you have a BMW already. I don't know. I'm just giving it no charge. I'm giving an example as something, that you aspire to, those aspirational things, right? And so you might aspire to have an M3 one of these days. I don't know, and you're like, yeah, that'd be cool to have. Well, I know other cats your age that have M3s. They've done that. They made that happen, right? They may not have a house. They still live with mama, but they have the M3. So it's like,
yeah,
what I'm saying? It just depends on what I know cats that are your age that have exactly everything that we're talking about, and they have it in their bedroom, for Christ's sake, around their bed. It's just right.
Everybody has a different incline, decline.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone progresses at a different level.
Mm-hmm.
We've all seen those cats that have, I don't know, let's call it $15,000 worth of audio equipment in a $1,500 car that actually needs work. We've all seen these guys, right? You're like, wait a minute. If you'd have just put the money you put into those rims in the car itself, you wouldn't be broke down on the side of the road. Like, your priorities are all jacked up. You know what I'm saying? So
it's the same thing for like audio equipment. Like you said, like they put like $5,000 in a $2,000 car, and the reason their car is probably messed up because it vibrates so much. And
they broke the suspension from the subwoofer.
Yeah,
that's true too, Tom. I've got, and this is hilarious because there is videos of cats doing this. They will buy subs, and I've got subs that'll do that. I've got 2 subs that'll do that. But there's cat that you can watch the videos on YouTube, and they're shaking the house so bad you can see the cabinets shaking in their house, and you're like, you're an idiot. Like, you don't realize that that's not good. Like, nails are one way, my friend. Like, screws are only made to make something stable, and that's it. The minute they shake, you're screwed. Like, that's it. They don't snap. That's not good. And so I have everything dialed down so that it don't rattle my cabinets off of the foundation that they're on, right?
Like sticky pads are like the baby proof.
Yeah, it's you get the point with stuff, is the way I feel like, right? It's you're getting the shaking and the rattling without necessarily you're feeling it without shaking stuff off of the wall. Like, it's
I'd be curious to see like pound for pound wise price for in home or in car, like what sound quality you would get, like equivalency, like price wise, like where would you get your better bang for your buck?
Probably in a car. I bet you could in a car because you've got a smaller space. I don't know.
Well, this is audiophiles aren't necessarily car guys, are they? They're car audio is not necessarily for clarity and I want to get the ultimate this or that. A car audio is a different animal. Car audio is give me mass. I want massive this, right? Car audio now is achieving a level where they do want to hit particular sounds, and so it's not to any sort of sound that you want to hear. It's not to a pleasing sound. It's to a particular note, to a particular measured level of sound. So they're playing a ooh, and they want to hear that, and they want to make glass break. You know what I'm saying? Or they want to, or they want to make distortion so bad that it hurt. Like you can't even be in the car. They're not. They will put a microphone, a specific kind of microphone, in a vehicle. And this is at some of these audio competitions for cars. And they will put a microphone near it or in it and play a note. And that's how it's tested. Like they want to just, okay, boom. Because you can't be in it. You'll go deaf. That. They are making audio so crazy in vehicles that you can't be in it. You'll go deaf. It will affect you the rest of your life. Like you're done, son. They played it. You're done. Good for you. You heard it. That's the last thing you'll ever hear.
I've had people in my area that literally, it almost seems like they put megaphones in this, like with the speakers, and like you can hear it from like, I swear to God, within about a quarter mile.
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
And they do that, and then they have such a strong subwoofer, and it just almost it doesn't even out. The vocals are way higher, but
that's almost the opposite of what a audiophile wants. They want to try to produce it as close as they can to what it was recorded, which will never happen. But the people that are into car audio, they don't care about that. They just want the highest sound pressure level or the highest note. Remember the Memorex tape? Is it live or is it Memorex? And the lady would break the glass with the singing. That's what they want in car audio. And it's just,
well, I mean, you can go. I mean, you got some people that just want to do they want to go with the heavy bass with a lot of speakers, but then you got some people that just want speakers.
They just want balanced. They want what they think is balanced, and again, it's a very personal thing. And but an overwhelming majority of them, it's just about distortion, and maximum. You look at the video. I've looked at those videos on YouTube of the cats that win these competitions for your different categories of audio with car audio, and you can't be in them. You can't. They show themselves out of the vehicle. It's not you. Literally, the challenge is to stay in the vehicle as long as you can, because it's that loud. It's that, and it's the only way that I know of certain levels where, like certain levels of noise, where I guess it starts affect, like you could actually die. I guess there's a sound that it's so loud, and that's how I learned it, is from car audio. I used to be a car audio installer. I used to install these booming systems. And I had a system back in the day. This was in the early 90s. I had a system that would make you sick. It would make you throw up. It would just, if I hit that bass a particular way, you would throw up. Like it would just, it would make you, because I don't know, it would affect you. It did me. It did several others. It would affect you in such a way where it would, so you couldn't be in it. It would make you physically sick.
I can remember being like around like 18, 19, in a buddy's car, maybe drink a little too much, and then the bass would be on, and you can tell your stomach. You're like, dude, I can't.
Starts rumbling up around.
That's not gonna go well with me.
Right? Yeah, it's a thing.
Small liquor. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing, right? Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah. Man, it says you keep hitting the bass till you're 160 pounds. Yeah.
Until your organs.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. It really, you can go on.
Some of them are crazy though. Like I don't want to sit in a, like, you ever had the ones that they put the woman in the car with the bass and the hair goes everywhere? It's like, I don't want that shit.
Right. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I'm gonna die by the time I'm 35.
They literally can make the distortion so bad that everything that was sitting still in the car or in the Blazer or whatever SUV it may be, because you definitely prefer an SUV, right? Yeah. So whatever it may be, it would just vibrate. It becomes like weightless,
essentially,
because the distortion is so high that it moves so much air in, like Mark said, such a little space that everything moves. It just becomes weightless, like
a wave, right?
And it just moves there. I can feel that right now in my, well, not right this minute because I've got everything unplugged and moved, but yeah, when those subs hit, I can make those subs in my living room make you like. I've got a buddy I would not do that around because he has heart issues. I have absolute confidence that I would affect his heart.
Yeah.
I could move that much air in my living room, and I got a big living room. I'll admit it. You know what I'm saying? It moves that much air. Like, it's crazy.
That's power right there. Hey, I'll invite you over. I'll stop your hat, buddy. You
I mean, I don't know about stop it, but I could definitely adjust it a little bit. Like, I wouldn't.
The heartbeats.
I wouldn't do that. It would be kind of, because I know that could happen. Not that it, so I wouldn't take it to that level, but it's definitely, I can feel it. Like, you're sitting there in your listening space, like you said before, in your perfect seating position, and you're like, let's crank this bad boy and see. Whoa, check that out. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You're like, this is awesome. Yeah. You're like, there's certain artists too that are prone to this sort of thing. Nicki Minaj is one of those. It's like, you put on any of her tracks, you're going to hear a lot of language, but at the same time, sometimes you want is just that bass, just that note. There's certain Eminem tracks that some cats, there's some albums that I have that are made to enhance the bass that's already in a bass track. They're just specific bass tracks that are made to like enhance that bass track. So the distortion that you get out of them, because that's all bass is distortion. Yeah. So the amount of distortion you're getting in there is. And it's cool, man. It's cool to see your damn subs going, whoa, 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 like that. To see these things just go from nothing, and they're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're like, oh, we're moving a lot of air right now, man. That is cool. It's just one of those stupid things, man, that you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, for guys, that's like, you can't help it. Like, at a guy, that's just like, give me another beer, man. Yeah, that's cool. I need to pump more beer into this situation because that makes it better.
I think it's called King Kong, and it's supposed to be like, it's I forget how it goes. It's like King Kong, King Kong, and that's supposed to be like one of the most craziest bass songs ever.
There's so many, Tom. Actually, it's an animal. It's a can I just opened. I shouldn't have, because there's literally you name the song that you think of as right now. You can put on some headphones, and it's a pretty bassy song.
Yeah.
That song will be amplified by 4. There's literally DJs that redo this song as a bass track. Like, it's literally like that, and they amp the bass up. So when you replay that track after that DJ has done his magic to it, it's wow. You know what I'm saying? And then in your own system, you can adjust your crossovers, and I have many. You can adjust your crossovers to amplify that even more, and dude, you'll blow your. I mean, it's crazy. It's fun. It's fun. But you have to learn it, because you'll blow everything up. You'll blow. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know all these different, and so that's the fun of learning audio, is that whether it be car audio or home audio, it's the fun of learning it is learning all these different adjustments in your decibel levels and what is safe for this or that, because you don't want to blow up your gear, and that's what'll essentially happen. You'll blow everything up.
No, I want smoke. I want to see smoke.
Yeah, you'll like. And by blowing up, I don't mean like you'll see smoke, but you could, I guess, maybe. Yeah. But I mean, you'll just like, you'll hear that one sound that you shouldn't hear. You're like, whoa, that went,
Yeah.
You'll go from that nice boom, boom, boom to this, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
That didn't sound. That wasn't a bass note. What was that? I think that was my cabinet like coming apart. That's not cool.
Yeah, you try to justify what the sound could be, and
you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Well, turn that down. Turn that down. Turn it down. And you're like, yeah, that's that wasn't good. I think that was my cabinet vibrating. That's not good.
It's like overclocking a computer. So you get to that point where you probably should.
Yeah, like Coach says, DJ Magic Mike, feel the bass, make the car go boom. Yeah, that's funny.
What was that song from? What was that? We like the cars that go boom.
Yeah, the cars that go boom. That was those two chicks, right?
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
like
God.
the cars that go boom.
Yeah.
Mika and Rocket, and we like the boom. I can't think of their names, but
yes.
Sounds so familiar.
It's absolutely. And there was and then you've got the going back to Cali from LL Cool J. There's so many. There's so many. There was a song that's little known when Nissan had come out with, instead of their old design, when Datsun went to Nissan and they came out with that new Nissan mini truck that was more of a boxy design. You have to go way back to figure this out. There was a song that came out, and I forget the artist. It was called Nissan. It was literally called Nissan, and it was for all us cast that had Nissan mini trucks that had these booming sounds in them when that was just becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Right. All this stuff happened when I was a kid, when I was in high school. Right. So when that was becoming a thing, that's when that was hitting. Right. And that song Nissan came out. That was the first one that I can remember that was literally a specific bass track for mini trucks that were coming out like that had these big, like you would fill your whole back of your bed up with subs. It would just be nothing but subs and amps. It was insane. And boom, I mean, that track would hit, man. And you would hear that high note because it started out kind of high,
It's funny when people drive by your house and you can just feel it. Your whole house shakes.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Chris Clark says, I'm a guy. I need beer, loud sound systems, explosion, girls. What else do I need? Maybe food, water every once in a while, but that's an afterthought. Like that's guys. That's who we are. And in the sound system that goes loud, give me some people dying. Okay, every 5 minutes I need someone brutally dying. I need some drugs in there somewhere, like either using them or someone's trying to make a drug deal and that's why they're dying. A few ladies doesn't help in between there, and the dude that's doing all the shooting gets laid every once in a while. That helps.
Yeah.
And all of that mixed into what he was saying, is absolutely, that's guy. That's there's certain movies that I watch that are like, dude, this movie's lame, but it's a total guy movie. I'm stuck. Like, that's it. Boom. I know it sucks. It's getting a 2 rating on IMDb. I don't care. It's a guy movie. I'm obligated to watch this thing. It has explosions and it has people dying and people are like that. Did you see the artistic value in the way they cut that guy's head off? Hello. Duh. I love the way it was produced because they literally put like different little bombs around his head and it exploded and his head like popped off in sync. It was awesome. Great. Like, come on. Like that. And as it, like he was drinking a beer and you could see the beer going down his throat into the body because it popped off so cleanly.
Yeah.
Like that was, come on. Like there's, what's.
He pulled up a malt liquor to drink and his head blew off.
Yes.
And he was enjoying it. Like they say, you can still acknowledge for 30 seconds. He still understood the taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are total dude things.
No
We
carbon.
can't help it. Don't stop it. You get in the way of it, and that's the end of relationship. That's it. We need to be guys. Right? It's lame. I know it's lame, but I have to do it. Right?
I was watching something. It was like how guys' brains are and women's brains are.
Yes.
And it's like for guys, it's like all guys have like, imagine your brain like a bunch of different boxes, and they're all separated from each other, and you all have a certain box, and you open up that you specifically go towards. And then like with women, like they have a ball of yarn, and everything's connected to everything.
They're just a big, tangled, disorganized mess. Yes.
This connects to that, and then what are you doing with this? What are you doing with that? And then with men, it's just like when they need to do something, they open that one box, they go into that one box.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
They take care of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. Like
the guy going into the explosions and nudity and violent box.
And then the person was like, the best box that most men love to go into is the nothing box.
Yeah.
The box with nothing in there.
Just entertain me. That's it. Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. But you know what's also hilarious, Tom, to add to that is that's the biggest box, right? Like that one occupies the most. There's one of those boxes actually in all the other boxes as well. So it's like there's always a nothing box. Like, just entertain me. I don't care, but just shake that ass, baby. That's all I care. Yeah, just shake it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I care about, man. Yeah. I've got dollar bills. Just shake it. You know, whatever it takes to keep this machine going. You know what I'm saying? And we all learned it from the little horsey that you'd feed, dimes or quarters into when you was a kid going into Walmart or Kmart. You know what I'm saying? And you'd feed the coins into it, and it would rock. Oh, yeah, this is nice, Mama. Yeah, you got another quarter? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is where
it's true, though. You get like the effect of giving something and then something happening. And then,
exactly.
And then it's like...
Yes. It's clean, right?
Yeah.
I give it money and it gives me a reaction. Boom. Yeah. Right? And that's the way it works. I do this and this happens. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Boom. And that's the problem with our society, right? There's not enough of clean interaction, and I do an action and this happens, right? There's all this complication. Coach says, Joe, you are scaring me.
We're like a rat race. You put the cheese out there. We're gonna straight for the cheese.
Yeah, it is. It's great, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love this stuff. It's awesome, right? Like it's it is awesome. It's a lot of fun, It's God, we've had quite the chat room going today, haven't we?
Actually, it's been.
Head coach is scared. He's scared over there.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna be all right, man. You can be all right.
Yeah, he says, "Help! We need an adult."
You come to the wrong place.
You come to the wrong. This is not an adulting zone. We have people that are of age to be adults, but not that are of a maturity to be an adult. That's not what we call for here on this show. We don't say in the description for the show there's a lot of adulting going on. No.
We're all adults, but we all have a younger heart on the inside.
Yeah, much less mature heart. Yes, yeah, we're all just not now. Exactly. Yes, we're all adults, just not right now. Yeah. This is not an adulting zone. Exactly.
Hey, that's your right. That's the right to be an adult, right? You have that right.
Yes. Right? Yes, you have a right to be an adult or not to be an adult. Like that's, you have a choice. The older you get, it's a wider range of ages you can act like. You know what I'm saying? That's the privilege of getting older, is that you have it's more of a choice.
Yeah.
And right now I don't choose to be this age. This age sucks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go to a much younger age when it was fun. I'm going to choose that age. It was a lot more fun being that age, but able to drink. Right? Like that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
I can act like I'm 12, but I'm legally able to drink. So what would that be like? You mix those two in.
Well, I mean, that's like being in Portugal. You know what I mean? They can drink at any age. I remember when Portugal when I was like 14, the drinking age wasn't nothing. It was as long as you can look over the counter, you drink.
Cigarette, really?
Everything. Yeah, I went there for New Year's. I got wasted.
In Portugal? Really?
Yeah, Azores. My mother's from Azores, St. Michael.
Okay.
And I went out there when I was 14, about 15, 14, 15. And yeah, you look over the counter, you can drink.
We're going to have to ask our friend from Portugal that one of these days, Mark, if what's the legal drinking age over there?
They might have raised it to 16, but I think it's still pretty low. They might. I think it is probably 16. Yeah. And they probably don't enforce it a whole lot either.
Now, the problem with the Portuguese is we've discussed this previously on this show, actually. He used to jump in on this show, too. And we've discussed their the problem is drinking habits and eating habits. And we are normal. We have chicken wings and we have pizza and those sorts of things, pretzels and peanuts. They eat snails.
I mean, they do, but it's not. I've eaten snails. I've had snails. They're not any. You boil them up. They're more of like a bar snack.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what they do with them. Yeah.
It's like the version of fried calamari, probably.
Fried calamari. Oh, is that a type of thing you guys have in your area too? Fried calamari.
Yeah, they have fried calamari here as well. Yeah.
They eat Portuguese. I mean, when you go out there, it's really beautiful out there. They have it's an active volcano. Like it's called Furnas. So they have an active volcano, and it smells like sulfur. It smells horrible.
Well, that's not so nice. Yeah, sulfur doesn't smell real good. The good thing about sulfur smell is that you can fart you can let it fly. No one knows the difference, right?
You bring a hot date, man, and
you're like, who gives a damn, right? It's you're like, this is great.
That's when you know you really smell if you can cut through the sulfur.
Yeah, if you could cut through the
you got a problem. You gotta go to see a doctor.
If you're in a whole heavy sulfur area, someone's going, "Damn, son," then you're it.
You're okay.
Right? Yeah, you're it. Like that's.
But it's cool out there how like they have like it's volcanic areas, so certain areas in the ground it's really hot, so they'll dig up the ground and they'll do like roasts and shit inside the ground and let it sit there for about 12 hours. Come back
because the ground itself is warm.
Yeah, from the active volcano.
Wow.
So they'll dig it up and they'll come back and they'll have like roasts with chorizo and pigs and you know what I mean, meat from cows, and dig it up, and then you have like a big family meal.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
It's cool how they live out there too, because they'll have like a truck that'll come by your house every morning with wine, bread, with like pop sticks. We call it pop sticks for bread. They have like the spicy peppers, cheese, like a bunch of stuff, milk. You could basically you could buy a house out there for $60,000-$70,000 US and be happy if you could speak the language. It's absolutely incredible. My grandparents died and they owned a house out there. People that we have living out there now are paying like $120 a month US. It's crazy.
So you're part Portuguese?
I'm 50%.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. I got French Canadian. I have I have a great grandfather that came over from Normandy like in 1600 to Canada. So I'm French Canadian, Scottish, I'm Irish. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff in me. I'm a mutt. They call me a mutt.
A mutt, yeah.
But yeah, I got a lot.
A European mutt.
Exactly.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though, Tom. Thanks for sharing all that with us. I'm really intrigued now to talk to our friend from Portugal there.
It might have changed. I know. Over time, like different generations abuse it more.
Yeah.
I know there've been some like accidents in Azores. From my understanding, they may have, like Mark said, they may have raised it up a little bit.
Well, everything that he shows, because he shows a lot, everything that he shows on Instagram, at least, is amazing. It just looks like the most beautiful country ever, except for those snails. I'm like, yo, what's up with the snails, man? If they go to a bar, and it's just the most grotesque looking platter of snails piled up like that, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I've never. They're not hard. It's a once in a while type of thing for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely, I'm definitely anti-bugs. So.
So
I like to.
Hey, lobster is a bug.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a sea bug. It is, and people don't realize that. And I'm here to raise the conscience of America and let them know.
They're like they're morph. They make you look like they're not a bug, but they're a bug.
They are a sea bug, trying to contaminate all of us. You know what I'm saying? Yes, exactly. Those darn shrimps and lobsters and crabs and stuff. Ugh. Like, yeah, that's
some sardines. Oh
yeah, man. You get shots in your Johnson for trying to get rid of crabs. Give me a break. You don't eat them.
Oh my goodness.
You got a point, Joe.
And why would I want to eat a king crab? Give me a break. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a hell of a.
You know what I wouldn't mind eating? I've never eaten before, the soft shell crabs. Those are supposed to be really good. I don't know if you guys have had
isn't that a big thing in your area, or is soft shell not a
Maryland?
Thing? Oh, Maryland. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Maryland.
I haven't had any. No, I've had any either. But I've had friends of mine. They're expensive when they're in season, but they're supposed to be really, really good. Yeah,
that's interesting.
More expensive than sea bugs, Joe.
Yeah, sea bugs. Oof, forget about it. Dane Pacheco says, "Man, Joe sure brought in the new year." Yeah.
You got to do it right.
Hey, we got to do it right, man. That's a good time. Chris Clark says, and he has, quote, "It smells like farts all the time. It's great. You'd love it." That's a quote.
You should read Bum's. Not Bum. Head coaches on me, where it says,
"Oh yeah, I like Tom, but I'm sure he's 1% ass based on his love for the Pats."
Hey, I love ass, so I will take that. Ass, hey, good ass, an ass can know a good ass, right?
Yeah. Oh man, this is so much fun. I swear, I love it. I absolutely love this show. It's great, man. We have a good time on here. Thank you to everybody that joined in. I really appreciate it, man. Did a pop-up show today. I can't schedule it just yet, but be on the lookout for a show tomorrow. I don't want to schedule it just yet because there's a few things cooking in my personal boiler that might happen and might not. So, and yeah, they're always female related. Give me a break. Come on.
Hey, Joe has 1% ass in him too.
I mean, come on. What dude that says we love our independence isn't always trying to get hooked up on that other side, right? I mean, come on. That's the nature of being a dude. That's also the nature of being a dude. You're always trying to get hooked into the other side because the other side smells so nice. right? We smell kind of, ooh, that's repulsive, but they like smell sweet and nice. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the appeal. And then they have this bitter side, and you're like, oh man, that ain't so nice. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's that sweet side that like, oh, you're like, oh, that is nice, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, yeah. So it's deceiving, right? Yeah. You have to watch it a little bit.
They're like a lobster. They're like a lobster.
They are like a lobster, aren't they? There's this hard shell that's hard to get in, but once you get in, the meat is sweet.
They're different in all places, right?
Yeah, once you can crack that meat, it's sweet.
Shit.
And very addictive with butter.
Warm butter, baby.
And it's all a matter of who's trying to put their warm butter on the sweet stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Shit.
All analogies, people. Just your mileage will differ. Anyway, yeah, look for a show tomorrow. I can't promise one though. You know what I'm saying? So, because there's always stuff cooking, and you know what I'm saying. If stuff don't end up panning out, then there'll be a show. It's basically the way that it works.
Just have to wait and see.
If I can't impress her with my massive subwoofers, then you know what I'm saying.
No, you have to want to see my long throw subwoofer.
Hey, when the woman's like, send me like an erotic pic, you send of the subwoofer.
Yeah, here's my big, baby.
Here's my big 15, baby. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got 2 of them, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great, right? So, but more than likely things will work out and there'll be a show. I'm just saying that's how it goes too. Oh my God, yeah, it's so much fun. But in any case, thank you guys so much, man, for joining in. I really do appreciate it.
My boss is gonna fire me. My productivity is the last hour and a half. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so you know, Mark's got production to keep up with here, and if his production levels are low, then we'll never see Mark again, and that's not a good thing. So we have to let Mark get back to producing some quality content there. So in any case, thank you guys for jumping in. I appreciate it. If anybody else has a vinyl obsession, let me know. I want to know. I want to hear your vinyl feedback. There's a lot of vinyl guys out there that are secret in their closet. You have your vinyl locked up in a closet somewhere, man. Come out of the closet, man. Come out. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. We'll have our come out of the closet day.
2019, baby. Right?
With vinyl. Don't get too carried away. But I'm just talking vinyl. And I'm not talking those like weird vinyl slip suit things that you're putting on. I'm talking literally records. Let's make this clear too. I gotta get a lot of stuff clear here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking records. If you have a record player and you have some records in your closet and you want to talk about them, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it, man. So
yeah, not personal records, actual records.
Exactly. I'm not talking about your personal high school record and you had the most yards ran in a football game in high school, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can talk about that, but it's not as exciting for the rest of us as it was you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And there's my buddy John. He jumped in there right at the end here. My cousin Anthony had a Nissan mini truck and was in the Weekend Toys Club. And I do know his cousin, actually. So, and I do remember that Nissan. Is funny, but that John knows exactly, because me and John we've been, I'm not going to tell you how long we've been friends, because that would tell me and his age, but we've been friends since we was babies. His mama and my mama were besties. His mama is almost like my mama. You know what I'm saying? That sort of, they was that close. Like his mama was almost like my mama, and my mama was almost like his mama. Like we was that close growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one and the same, man. That's my buddy John right there. Forever, for sure, man. But yeah, I do know that exact mini truck he's talking about, and that club. I remember those clubs in Cali, man. That was the great thing about growing up in LA. There was car clubs for everything. I can remember the Nissan clubs. I can remember the VW club, bro. The VW clubs in Cali still go on. Well, all the clubs still go on to these days, but the VW clubs in those days were big, man. I mean, big. You had Carmagia clubs, you had Bug clubs, you named the VW club. There was individual clubs that broke down that deep. It was crazy, man. It was great. It was the 80s and I guess into the 90s as well were just great times, man. You know, absolute great times. John was mixing back in those days. He had a huge connection back in those. His uncle was a DJ, and so back in those days, it was good to know a DJ that actually DJ'd for an actual radio station because they would get tracks that you couldn't get.
Yeah.
The promotional tracks and all that sort of thing. They would get the tracks before they were released.
Yeah.
That was a big deal, and so yeah, that gave John a leg up in those days. A definite leg up because he would have tracks because of his uncle that were not released yet to the general public. Awesome. Good times, man. Good times. I'm glad John jumped in there. Awesome. Good to see him as well. Anyway, guys, take care, man. Peace out. We'll see you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to get back to painting or start some painting now. We'll see you guys, man. Peace out.
All right. Later. See you, Tom. See you, Joe.